Namaskar, friends. Today, I wanted to talk to you about three practices that you should engage in whenever you are confronted by doubt, despair, anxiety, grief, depression, panic attacks, any negativity that haunts and hijacks your mind so you are not able to function independently in ways that will lead to fortification of sadhana or spiritual practices that lead to advancement in this life. Every now and then, all of us spiritual seekers, sadhaks, individuals trying to find meaning in this life will be curtailed by the powers of karma bandhan and the powers of mind plays of the Sukshma Sharir, both ego and the mind, and to some extent the senses, that will all conjure to act against our buddhi or the intellect, and hence uh, hijack our motivations, aspirations to advance further in life. So it can happen from a lot of different situations. Something that happens to you physically in the body in the form of disease, pain, some loved one that you have lost in your life, things which were very dear to you that have suddenly disappeared from your life. There's lots of ways that Maya and samsara can inflict pain in the Atma latent in this body. So, I want to talk about the three yoga practices, little modified version of Bhakti Yog, Karm Yog, and Dhyan Yog. So, let's see what these three practices are. These three practices are based on the three faculties, as Krishna says, Shari Vak Mano Bhiryat Karm Prarabte Nara, Nyayam Va Vipritam. Those three modalities, Sharir, Vak, Man. So Sharir is body, Vak is the words, voices, and Man is of course the mind. These are the three planes on which you can do karma. And the idea is to employ all these three faculties when you're trying to dispel the despair, doubt, and anything that is making you feel have low self-esteem. The realm of Sharir is the realm of karma. The realm of karma, you have to understand, we talk about nishkama karma a lot. But if you are feeling doubtful and in despair, because comparison kills all the joys in life, and comparison also helps you get over all the grief in life. So if you find someone more miserable, suffering than you are suffering, could be a homeless person, could be a person who has terminal cancer, could be a person who was born with certain genetic defects. Any individual who you perceive to be suffering more than you are, if you can help them in a certain way, selflessly, that will make you feel good about yourself. And also, the comparison part will help you feel there is more sorrow in the world. I am not the biggest eternal sufferer in this world. So, that is the role of nishkam karma, where you don't have any obligation of return of any rewards from the individual, but you just help them out because it seems to be the right thing to do in the realm of dharma. The second is in the realm of vak or voice, and that is best employed through the practice of chanting. So in my case, it's mostly Hanuman Chalisa, but as I have said before, you can use any of those practices. Aditya Hridayam works, Narayan Sukta works, Bhaj Govindam, anything, Mahamrityunjay Mantra, anything that you are attracted to, the Ish Devta that you are attracted to, you can use the mantras, you can use the various strotas. But the idea is, in my case, Hanuman Chalisa works beautifully, and why mess with perfection? So if it works for you, you stick with it, is my motto. So yeah, Hanuman Chalisa, you can play the beautiful music you have, any of the YouTube music, Krishna Das videos are great, there are other great singers. that have sung. You have a big Hanuman Chalisa a la carte name title, 1 hour of Hanuman Chalisa songs that I have compiled together. You can listen to that. More importantly than listening is singing along. Participation recruits purpose in your life, and that's why you feel more meaningful. One of the major reasons for coming here is enjoyment, but enjoyment by participation, because that creates a sense of purpose. Even if you come to eat an ice cream, although it's a feeling of enjoyment, you have come with an intention to enjoy. That creates a purpose. So in moments of doubt and despair, you feel you don't have any purpose, meaning in life, and that tends to make you more hollow from inside. So that is why not only listening, you have to chant it out, because then those loops will play in your mind more proactively, even when you're non-chanting, even when you're trying to go to bed and sleep, and that will make you feel good. One of the signs that you are chanting it right is that the loops are playing in your mind all the time. Just like sometimes when you listen to the Bollywood music so many times, you kind of just recruit those song loops in your mind. Same thing should happen with Hanuman Chalisa. Whatever rhythm, whatever music you're listening, if you listen to it repeatedly, it will imprint on your neuronal circuits. So it will automatically play in your mind. So that is on the level of mindlessly chanting day in, day out. If you feel you are in despair, you don't have to generate a very intellectual discourse as to why you're chanting. Just chant away your life. If you don't know what to do with yourself, can't find anyone more miserable than yourself, don't have the ability to help someone else, chant your life away. That is the best thing you can do. You don't need anyone else for it, as long as you have a functional vocal cord. The third thing that works beautifully but is the hardest to do is Dhyan Yog. So whenever you are in a cloud of doubt, despair, depression, anxiety, anhedonia, you become reclusive. You kind of get away from this clamor of the world, this rat race, corporate ladder, rat race, competing with your neighbor to get a bigger car, bigger house. Whatever makes you compete on this hedonic treadmill, you just give away the treadmill. You don't run anymore. How can someone defeat you if you don't run the race? You cannot come second if you just decide not to participate in the race. So that is the realm of Ramana. That is the realm of Buddha, where you get all the answers from within. If you are willing to lose yourself, you will gain the Brahman. And the losing yourself is losing this identity of me. And hence, it is best accomplished when you turn away from the clamor of this world. Because when you are interacting with people, they say something, you react, you say something. So you are constantly bouncing ideas off each other. You are not exploring the inner self, who you are, which is best done when you are by yourself in a reclusive modality. It can be in a silent room in the house. Better still, I find it's better if it's out in the nature. You can be by the seashore, by a beautiful mountain, somewhere where you are a little reclusive and safe, obviously, from wild animals, but still there is a lot of Mahabhuts interacting with you. Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham. So you have fire, earth, air, water, ether. So it's a great place to refresh and recharge your Panch Mahabhut composing the body, and hence you will have more purity in your Sthul Sharir, and then from the purity in the Sthul Sharir comes the purity of mind. The thoughts that you will generate will be more constructive and give you more meaning as to why you are in this life. Remember, a mind that has a lot of clamor will have plenty of thoughts. When you are getting a lot of thoughts, ideas, suggestions by the mind, you yourself know that 90% of them are useless. The mind of a yogi creates only very few thoughts, but very high quality thoughts established in dharma. The mind of a layman creates multiple thoughts throughout the day. Some of them are unwanted thoughts, some of them are out of this world thoughts, some of them are totally steeped in selfishness of ego, making more money, getting a promotion, finding something that will serve the self. Whenever you are chasing short-term gratification or prayer, then those thoughts are meaningless and are not going to help in your sadhana. Whenever you dissociate yourself from any gratification and try to work in the modality of peace, that is where you will establish yourself in sadhana. So chase peace, contentment projects, and not short-term gratification, immediate enjoyment, pleasure-seeking promotions. So my friends, those are the three modalities that you have to practice so that you can get out of this rut. Sometimes the sukshma sharir, the subtle body acts against you, and so you have to counteract it by using these three techniques. The first technique of finding someone who is suffering more than you are in your surroundings, so you can go and help them out, which is karma yoga. Or you mindlessly chant all day when you get sad, upset, or you listen to the music all day in loops, so that those loops entrain in your mind, and that way Hanuman will bail you out of the trouble, which is Bhakti Yoga. Surrender. I don't know what is the right thing to do. I surrender to the higher, purest version of myself. For Hanuman, the higher, purest version of him is Ram. So you surrender to the best version of yourself, saying Brahman itself is me, just the purer, better version of me. That is surrender. Gaining control through surrender is Bhakti Yoga. And the third is through contemplation, rumination, interrogation, totally liquidating the vasanas and the vyasans. And by doing that, you have broken the web of despair and doubt that was casted on you. And this is best done by the silence of solitude, Brahma Muhurat meditations, in which your mind is clear from all the hankerings and cravings. And you can do it all through the day, but best practiced in nature, seashore, mountains, beautiful lake, somewhere where you are by yourself. So you are not bouncing ideas back and forth and not realizing who you are. Because that way, bouncing ideas back and forth, constantly steeping yourself in the senses, you have become mechanized. You have become this compulsive, cyclical, ritualistic behavior seeker who is never able to get out of the rut and is constantly feeding into this vicious cycle that is sinking him deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. So by doing these three practices, I hope you will find shanti, you will find peace, contentment, because the entire goal of sadhana and this life is to find peace. The moment you find peace, peace is the antidote of desire. The moment you find peace, you have become content. And then comes the long-lasting GABA-filled bliss, not the dopamine-filled pleasure, which is always excavating and making you empty from within. Hope you like this video. Please feel free to leave your comments below. Jai Shri Ram.